Once you grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this: you are divine. God has exploded in a crib nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all people, Christians run around, oh, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, we're going to be discussing Jupiter entering, Jupiter in Taurus square Venus in Leo. So, this transit doesn't actually happen until Monday night or Tuesday, depending on where you are. But we'll start to feel this today and for the rest of the week. We've had this transit in June and in August. So the energy is going to be familiar. It's things that have already been happening in our life, and it's just a continuation or wrapping up of this energy. Squares bring pressure. They're going to bring pressure between Venus and Jupiter, or Leo and Taurus. And this could also bring in pressure to our finances, resources, the things that we indulge in, and our desires all week. And so the two things there's actually a bunch of things that come up to me with this, but the two things that I feel like are the strongest is the fact that Venus and Leo has kind of been in this dance all summer around love and relationships and finding the right person and all these kinds of things around love, dating, romance, sex. And so in the beginning of the month, you might have found somebody, or the beginning of this transit, like June, you might have found somebody that you really liked, things were going well. And then it went retrograde, right? And so things started smelling funky and kind of like weird. And so maybe there was a breakup, right? And now that Venus is direct again, and we're having this transit again, the way this could be showing up is that the person's coming back gaslighting you. They want more. They don't want to break up, but they're not willing to change or do the things that the necessary to make the necessary changes in the relationship for you to actually grow and flourish, with Jupiter being retrograde, right? So be careful with people coming back for the sake of missing your energy, your attention, and what you could provide for them, Jupiter, right? Or Taurus even. Security even, right? Just a connection in general. Or the sex, maybe you had good sex and they don't want to let it go. Jupiter is also the husband in astrology, and so this could have been that somebody found out that somebody else was married or in a relationship. They're coming back because their relationship's old, it's stale, it's stagnant, it's not working, it's retrograding, it's repeating itself. It's not Leo, fun, exciting, young, and vibrant. Maybe what you provided to this person during that time that you met, and they want it back. They want that feeling back, but for one reason or another, they can't leave a relationship due to whatever ties that bind them within that relationship, right? And it's marriage, so 9 times out of 10, it's a contract agreement. It's Venus, it's Venusian, it's the 7th house. This is the 7th house, right? So it could be a marriage contract. or, finances and things of that nature. And so be careful for people coming back, because 9 times out of 10, this is Jupiter's way while it's in retrograde of testing you to see, how much do you really want security in a relationship, or stability or a stable relationship, right? Or how much do you desire or value your desires more so over your pleasure? I mean, it depends, however you want to look at it, but it is going to be a test, right? And so these issues will end up coming back up when Jupiter goes direct, right? Until you learn, taking the necessary steps that you have to get the kind of relationship that you want, right? That was the first thing. The second thing was sex. And just again, people coming back because they miss your sex. I don't that just reminded me of a Raheem Devon song. It's the drunk phone call, you know. I miss you picked up, you know. Gotta go listen to that song now. It was a random thought. Um, it could be something like that. Um, but it's a square, so be careful, right? Because they could come through a little aggressive and demanding, and not really care about you saying no, right? It could be a bit forceful. This could be some indications of rape, or people just showing up at your door, without calling, or you know, like some kind of a coming through in a some kind of authoritative way, right? Um, um, the other way I've seen this come up strongly is the culture, right? So we're talking about money, finances, stability, security, and what we spend our money on. And we know the culture doesn't really teach us to spend wisely, to save, to budget, long money. Jupiter is about long money, whether it's a lot of money or expanding towards themes of saving for the future, for stability, for your children, for your family, right? Um, and being smart and frugal, spending wisely and not overspending, or spending for the purpose of having flashy items and things to get attention that draw perhaps a kind of attention that you don't want, depending on what it is you're looking for in your life, right? And so these are the things that could be kind of like highlighted at this time around how we dress, our style, Leo, right? And things of that nature. And so we're really being challenged by the culture here, and how to change and shift our ideas around saving, budgeting for the future. Even self-employment, having your own business. Now I know everybody's not business savvy, but if you own stock, you own a business, right? And so changing our ideas around how we feel about investing, both Leo is definitely about investing, and so is a Taurus. What are you investing in? What are you giving your time and energy to? And so these squares could really be bringing up a lot of these questions, especially if in the beginning of the summer you got a hold to a bunch of money and opportunities, right? And you took that money and you indulged, you spent, you went wild, you thought stuff, you did all the things I told you not to do when Venus went retrograde in Leo. Right? And humanly right, who cares, right? It's summer, everybody wants to have fun, they're in the moment, they're feeling it, we're free, we don't care, we'll make it for it later. That's the culture, right? Of course. So now, with now that Venus is direct and we're having this square, and it's fall time, kids going back to school, again, what's being highlighted, how much fun we had, first of all, being tripping, Okay. Summer was lit, right? I went on vacation. I did this, I did that, I spent this, I did that, but now I don't got no money for my bills. Back to living paycheck to paycheck, even though you was before. Anyways, it never stopped. It was just like you didn't prepare, right? You didn't save for summer vacation and to be ratchet and spend all the money you've been spending all summer. So now you're in a crunch. That's pressure. That's the square for school supplies for the kids, bills that've been piled up because you ain't been paying. Oh my God, right? And not everybody's going to be in this energy. I'm just giving you an idea of what this could look like, right? And for the people out there who are doing the work, kudos to you. Right. And so now there's that crunch or fear or worry that comes up from this that is like, damn, I don't have my money. I don't, right? Or I'm stressing or I'm uh, struggling to robbing Peter to pay Paul and try to figure out all these other unique ways of making $1 out of 15 cents, right? That's kind of what this energy reminds me of. Um, and either way, this isn't about good or bad, right or wrong. These are about learning through these lessons. And so this whole Taurus energy, which we're going to wrap up, the Taurus South Node, North Node eclipse in October or November. I don't have the dates yet, but I am working on the eclipse reading. And then we have Venus. Venus has been very busy this year. And so what this energy is trying to show us is the importance of saving, not following the crowd, taking the road not chosen, not doing things for popularity or attention. You might want to be addressing some of those issues that you might have. Venus and Leo in some kind of counseling. Venus, seventh house, right? Especially with Libra South Node eclipse coming up. We're really going to start to Jupiter analyze Virgo season, our philosophy and values around how we spend money and why. What's more important now for where we're at now in our life, and how are we going to combat that? So before I go off on a tangent, which I kind of already did, I want to actually follow my notes. So those were the things that came up the strongest to me, though. And so Leo rules creativity, self-expression, attention, and recognition. This could be the things that you wear that get you noticed or compliments. Okay, like I was saying, whatever you spent your money on during the summertime that might not have gotten you the attention that you wanted. Being mindful of those things. This could be jewelry, fashion, your hair color and tattoos. And other people change for other reasons, right? This isn't about just being noticed and being complimented. And Leo on the higher expression. This is your brand. No matter how you look at it, you have the right to express yourself. Leo is about self-expression and the way that makes you feel like people can get to know a little bit more of you through your style, who you are, and what you like, right? Or what you don't like. Everybody is going to show up differently, right? And so you could have bought into a lot of jewelry, fashion, hair color, tattoos that maybe you're like, damn, I wish I never really did that. Or you didn't do it, you waited, maybe because you just didn't have the time, retrograde, right? And now you've had a lot of time to process and think like, damn, I really want to change my hair color this way, or I really want to do this, or I want that tattoo, or I like this kind of jewelry. As you guys can see, I have been very fucking busy, okay? And I like this where I'm at right now. Okay. And I have more to come. right? As we grow and evolve in this now new values, new ideas around self-expression, right? You might decide to date again, Leo, who's unplayed dating, your sex life, romance, and dating, right? And so you've had enough time to think about the experience you've had over the summer. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Again, this might be something you want to do some counseling on or do some research on to really get down to the bottom of things and understand what it is you want in a relationship. What are you looking for and how do I get there? What's the roadmap, Jupiter, right? The vision, how you want to get to where you want to get to. And so, now that everything is direct, again, you've gathered enough data and information, you've reflected and had some ideas around what you do and don't want. Now you're possibly gonna get your feet wet a little bit. You're gonna put yourself out there. You're gonna take a healthy risk and start following your intuition, listening to the things that you want. You're gonna ask the right questions and et cetera, right? Um, Again, this could be self-employment and the expenses that come with that to design and create the type of brand you want and how you want to creatively express through your talent and whatever that is. As you guys may or may have not noticed, that I've been changing a lot of things around. I've been clearly giving this a lot of thought. Libra rising here, Venus ruled. I'm going through it, okay? And I don't think I'm done yet. I got a few more ideas, right? And so this energy is great for that though. And thinking about that, re-examining it and addressing, how do you want those things to look? Um, your personal brand. Again, vacations and spending on your kids for going back to school and things of that nature, right? That's also a thing because Leo rules children, either pregnancy or your children that you already have, and school. And Jupiter rules school, right? And so there could be a lot of interesting conversations and laws and regulations around school, both college and childhood, the entire school spectrum. Um, because Jupiter rules laws, regulations, right? Um, and there could be some things around questioning whether or not schools going to college is even worth it with the debt that it comes with, right? We're talking about spending and what we spend our money on, what we value. And that's not to say that education isn't good, but is the debt worth it? That's the real question. And so people might be really starting to think like, how can I come up with different kinds of ways to make money without having to take the long route? Are there shorter, more convenient, more affordable classes that I can take, courses that I can take, books that I can read perhaps or study, things that I can study that's going to help me get to my goal more so than having to go to college? And the answer is yes, but you have to find them. You have to Venus submit to your goals and submit to learning and submit to researching and finding what it is you are trying to grow and expand in or on. Yeah. And then Jupiter in Taurus is now retrograde. Jupiter rules our beliefs, philosophy, love, growth, and abundance. And again, we're reevaluating our beliefs and philosophy around finances, our desire for stability, security, and practical application to get in these things. And they could even be heightened by government news, changes in information, because Jupiter also rules not just laws, but outside countries and information that we're getting from outside of the country, like China not banning iPads the new iPads, I think it was specifically, but I think iPads in general, which doesn't surprise me. I don't think it should surprise anybody at this point. China's always banning something or someone, but it does raise questions, and it also can affect us here in America, right? In our stock market specifically, right? Um, also, um, China's real estate. I think we're even having a real estate bubble. Um, like we're in it now. It's not a question of whether or not it's happening, if I'm not mistaken. It's now actually a fact that we are in a bubble, right? A financial bubble. It's gonna burst. Especially with student loans coming back on and things of that nature. So this news could be sending people in higher worry, or like get us inspired or more motivated to make these more practical ways of spending money, saving money to get the things that we want. It's like delayed gratification, right? Because Jupiter wants something fast, quick, and it wants a lot of it. An excess of it, right? But because it's retrograde, it's kind of showing us, teaching us delayed gratification when you can't get something that you want. And there's a reason for that, right? Because again, we have to figure out why we really want these things. And it's not just about why and what we value and kind of debating about these things and why they're important, but also um, you have to find the path that's going to get you there. You got to change your habits and patterns, and then you have to follow that, live by it, make it a philosophy, Jupiter, right? A way of life, something that you will not deviate outside of, right? And so that's why this Jupiter retrograde is a test. It's going to be testing you. Things are going to come up in such a way where it's going to be like, well, you said you wanted this, so I'm giving this to you. Now show me what you're going to do with it. How can you make this dollar expand for the next 3 months? I'm being super dramatic, obviously, but not really. This is what Jupiter is asking you to do. And I feel like that's why Jupiter also rules culture, right? And so I feel like that's also why we are it's a real fight between culture, the things that you consistently watch and listen to, that cause the ideology of not seeing why it's better to save money, even though subconsciously, because you're going through life paycheck to paycheck, struggle to struggle, robbing Peter to pay Paul. You have to make changes, right? But it's hard to do it when you're not accumulating or surrounding yourself with the knowledge and information that helps you put solutions to the problems that you're having, right? And so that's the real fight here. I think it's a psychological thing. It's more in our minds and our brains, through the television, through the music, through the industry, through the culture. That is the real fight here. I also see this as like for the people who are super creative and they're starting their own businesses, and it's really hard. It's not an easy journey. You're going to have ups and downs, times where you're doing great, times where you're not, times where you feel defeated, times when you don't. And then you have family, friends, and people who are supposed to be supporting you will be the first people to tell you, oh, don't do that, in so many words, or they're just not supportive, right? There's very many ways to say that somebody doesn't believe in you. I don't know why people seem to think that we're supposed to like you when it's very evident that you don't support me, but okay. I'm gonna leave that up to spirit, right? But these are very real things that could be going on with people who are trying to make it and be self-employed and capitalize on their brand, their personal talent, right? And they don't have the support from their family, friends, and they just kind of sit there and wait for the small business to fail. It's so sad that that's our culture, but it is a very real thing. Um, And I think those are going to be some of the things that we're really fighting here, because if Taurus, even Virgo season, unemployment or employment becomes an issue again, and we go on lockdowns again, and people start losing their jobs again. This is going to be a very real reality for a lot of people that will be facing these questions of whether or not to start their own business, or how am I going to get money, et cetera, et cetera. So, I say all that, and I think the answer and the route to take is, if you are somebody who's creative, you have your own business and you're doing your thing, and you're working to support this business until you do make it, find your niche, master your niche, and save money too, right? Invest into your talent, invest into what you're doing, but also save money too for rainy days, etc. Until that second income starts rolling in. And don't give up on yourself. Don't let people bring you down because they don't believe in you and what you're doing. Fuck them. Keep going. Period. That's the message in this transit. Yeah. You will get growth from doing any kind of practical risks, like what I was just talking about, through budgeting, spending wisely, being frugal. I'm going to give you another example. Say you want to take a weekend trip and you like going on vacations. You don't want to feel bad for liking going on vacations. However, you don't really have the money to be doing it the way you would want to. Delayed gratification. Save up every 3 months. Pick a place where you want to go, a weekend trip, right? And save up money for whatever expenses you're going to need for that trip over a 3 month period of time, and divvy it between paying your bills first, right? And taking care of other responsibilities. This is what budgeting is, right? And doing those things, and then you can still go on your trip. This is what Jupiter square Venus wants you to do. Delayed gratification. Do things take risks to do things that are going to get you that are going to bring you the pleasure and desire that you so want, even the fun and good feelings, but do them in a very practical way. You will be rewarded. You'll start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if you carry on that process and make that a philosophy, a way of life, living, you'll get better at it. And when you master it, you can add in other things and do other things. Trust me, the energy will bless you. Jupiter will give you blessings when you take the time out to abide by what the lessons are, right? So taking risks to invest in your creativity, your creative talents, becoming self-employed, promoting your talent, investing in the stock market, you will receive blessings for doing those practical risks. And then you have Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, that rules love, money, beauty, values, relationships, art, material items, spending habits, saving and budgeting. And both Leo and Taurus are fixed signs. So this isn't going to be easy. This hasn't been easy. It'll be an ongoing journey for most of us. But that lesson is still going to be very evident. Delayed gratification, how to be frugal, save for the future, save for your goals. It's showing you that you can have what you want, but do it with planning and moderation. So I really liked this. I just wanted to come on here because this is the weekly astrology. I thought about doing Monday through Friday type of thing, but I think for right now, my brain is like, no, bitch, I don't want to do Monday through Friday. So that's how I feel. So I'm honoring my feelings right now. And I hope that you find this information helpful. And I love and appreciate y'all. If you want your weekly astrology sent specific to you and your chart sent to you on a weekly basis, become a Patreon member today. All the links are in my bio. You can even go on my website. Or in the description box below. Grab the information's in the description box below. Or you can go on my website. Yeah, man. I hope y'all have a great week. Peace.